So it's a good time to reflect on this question. Let's say you are an agnostic or an atheist. Should you raise your child with religion? A lot of people will say, how could you do that? You're being untrue to yourself. But let me ask you this. What if you have absolutely no interest in classical music? Should you raise your child with classical music? Should you give your child music lessons? If you have no interest in the arts, you haven't been to a museum since your parents took you 32 years ago, if indeed they did take you, should you therefore deprive your child of visits to the museum? Should he not or she not take an art class? Say you're like me and you have no interest and no facility in chemistry. Should you say to your school, look, my child's not going to be a chemist. I don't want my child to learn this. The fact that the parent is tone deaf, to continue my musical analogy, is tone deaf to God and religion should not be a reason to deprive your child of it. Let your child choose. See, here's the irony. Or it's worse than an irony. It is an irony, but it's also a built-in discrepancy. You can't say, I want my child to choose, and therefore, religiously speaking, God faith speaking, and therefore I won't give my child religion. Well, then how do they make a choice? It's like choosing, you can't choose something you've never seen, you've never experienced. The only way to give your child a free choice is to let your child have both. Here, I want you to experience religion. I'm not going to hide from you that your dad, or your mom, we just, for whatever reason, can't believe in this, but we know its value. We know that most of the great people in history did believe in God. The founders of this country all did. All. A-L-L. The nonsense about the deists not believing in a personal God. Give me a break. Name him. Adams? Franklin? Jefferson? In my book that is going to come out in April, I have chapters on the beliefs of the founders, because my argument is that American values are the best values in the world, and they're for every country, and they're God-based. I am having put up in my house Benjamin Franklin's statement on what he believes. I'll read it to you after the break. What he believes. Isn't that funny? I put it in the present tense because they're so alive in my mind, the founders. On what he believed. It's exactly what I believe, and he's called the deist. So you could say to your child, this is a great country. Believe in these values. The motto of our country, or one of the mottos of our country, is in God we trust. Yeah, I think it's worth your having, son. I think it's worth having, my daughter. That I struggle with this is my problem, or my issue, or my thinking. But clearly, this is central to being an American. Central to the American value system is God. So this notion of the parent not being a believer and depriving the child of religion and God, it makes no sense to me. Unless you actively believe that religion in America has been a force for evil, which is can only mean that you went to graduate school. 1-8-PRAGER-776 is the number, 877-243-7776.